Corey, I need to speak to you. Respond immediately. Corey!
Why are you messaging me out of the blue after all these years? Anyway, I'm at work right now.
Do you think I care? Everybody knows you're a good-for-nothing salary thief. I doubt anyone at your company would care about the most useless employee there using his phone on shift.
Don't be ridiculous. These are peak busy hours.
Enough of your whining. Just be quiet and listen to me, boy.
Damn it! I just told everyone I'm heading out for my lunch break. What do you want?
Patricia's getting married.
Oh, you're messaging me about that? She told me herself.
I see. That girl always was incredibly upright and honest. To think she'd even go out of her way to let her failure of a big brother know about her wedding. She makes me so proud. I take it you also heard about her fiancé working at a major IT company with a very high salary too?
Yes, I know. Andy, right?
Ah, fantastic. In that case, I won't have to endure speaking to you for very long. I'll get straight to the point. Make sure you do not show up at Patricia and Andrew's wedding, under any circumstances.
Huh? Wouldn't it be a little weird if I didn't go to my own sister's wedding?
Don't worry, I'll deal with that. I plan on telling him and his family that we haven't seen or heard from you since you ran away from home after graduating high school.
What the hell? I ran away? You kicked me out! They're obviously gonna see through such a bare-faced lie!
Not if I get the story straight with Patricia before we tell them together.
Come on, they're gonna know!
Look, Corey, just think about this for a moment, will you? Andrew graduated with high honors at Apple University. That makes him elite, cream of the crop, creme de la creme! Not only that, but the IT company he works for is currently one of the fastest growing startups in America. It was even in the news lately. He probably makes more money in a day than you do in 1 year. Can you imagine how embarrassing it would be if him and his family found out about his wife's big brother being a tragic high school graduate? I could faint just thinking about it. You need to work with us on this one. Do it for Patricia and her future. You owe her this.
Mom, why do you despise me so much? Fine. Maybe you could say that Patricia was always the more gifted one. She's pretty and intelligent. She always got the best grades in class. She's got the brains and the beauty. I get it. But even so, what kind of mother discriminates and plays favorites with her own kids?
Where on earth is this nonsense coming from after all this time? If I do favor Patricia, it's only because she accepts my love for her. She's cute, charming, polite, respectful, and she never talks back to me.
Look, Mom, I know she's all those things. I'm proud to call her my sister. But that doesn't justify you treating me with contempt. You speak to me like I'm a piece of dirt on your shoe. I don't have to put up with this.
I remember why we went years without speaking all of a sudden. I say you haven't changed a bit. You still insist on answering me back at every opportunity. You call yourself a man. It's about time you stopped acting like such an effeminate pansy. Getting jealous over your sister's brains and good looks? Pathetic.
I'm not jealous at all.
Anyway, do not come to the wedding. Do you have any idea how much shame and embarrassment you caused our family by not going to university? My son, the high school graduate. Ugh, I feel nauseous just saying it.
The only reason I didn't go to university is because you took all the money I earned at my part-time job. I was saving up especially to go to a prestigious university. It's not like I wanted to stop at high school.
This is what you get for neglecting your studies in favor of some poxy part-time job.
I hardly had a choice, did I? You made it abundantly clear you wouldn't be paying my tuition fees. I maintained above-average grades at high school the whole time I was there. I graduated among the top 5%. Who's the one who stole every cent of the money Dad left me when you guys divorced? That money was meant to send me to university! If you didn't spend all my damn money on holidays and expensive restaurants, I would have gone to university just like I always intended to!
But that... You know how effeminate you sound, grumbling and complaining about the past like some upset child. Do I have 2 daughters? The bottom line here is that you are not invited to Patricia's wedding. I'll cut off all ties with you if you dare to show up. I mean it! This conversation is over.
Mom, wait!
I have nothing more to say to you. Sup, big bro? How's it going? You just got off work, right? Is now a good time to talk?
Hey, Patricia. Sure, I'm on the train back home right now. What's up?
I wanted to talk about the wedding.
Huh? With me?
Well, you see, I was wondering something. Mom and Dad are divorced now, right? Well, I was wondering if you'd do me the honor of walking me down the aisle and giving me away? I've talked it through with Andy. He thinks it's a great idea, too. Sure! The bride has to be given away at the wedding, right? Don't worry, I've spoken to Dad, and he's on board with it, too.
Wait, so does this mean Dad can't come?
Yeah. Ideally, I wanted him to be there for my big day. But his new wife's heavily pregnant right now, and the wedding just so happens to coincide with the week she's set to go into labor. So as much as he wants to come, it would be super difficult for him.
I see. That is awkward.
He told me to pass on a message. Corey, it pains me that I can't be there, but I'm counting on you. Do me proud, son.
I see.
Corey, are you okay? You don't seem that excited.
It's not that. It's just... Look, there's a chance I might not be able to come to the wedding.
What? Why? Wait, no way. Did Mom say something to you?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, she did.
Ugh! I want to know exactly what she told you. Spill it! Whether you give me away or not, you absolutely have to be at my wedding. I can't get married with my dad and my big brother not there. Me and Andy want you to be there, so who cares what she thinks? Just ignore her.
Thanks. That means a lot. She told me not to go to your wedding under any circumstances. She threatened to cut me out of her life if I didn't do what she said.
What? Oh my god.
Apparently, she intends on explaining it away by saying I pulled a vanishing act after graduating high school, and no one's heard from me since.
What the heck is she playing at? Even though she's the one who kicked you out? This makes no sense. Besides, you and Andy have known each other since way back, so why would she even bother trying to lie? Did you explain that to her?
No. At the time she gave me the order, I still hadn't heard anything from you and Andy, and I didn't want to cause any trouble. So I held back on telling Mom anything.
I see. Listen, Corey, I guess I understand you not telling Mom you guys know each other. Back when I introduced Andy to Mom, I also made a point of not mentioning that you and him were friends.
So I held back on telling Mom anything. I see. Because that would have led to her figuring out where I work, right?
Right. Having her pester you about money is the last thing you need. I never would have suspected in a million years she'd try and pull anything this crazy, though. This is surprising even for her.
No kidding. So what do we do? On the one hand, I'm expected to attend due to my position at work, while on the other, Mom is absolutely insistent that I don't come.
Listen, Corey.
Yeah?
Be honest. Would you really care if you never saw or heard from her again? Don't you think it might actually be for the best? To tell you the truth, I've been considering it myself for a while. I'm thinking of telling her I want nothing more to do with her after the wedding. Me and Andy discussed it with his parents, and we all agree it's the right thing to do.
Really?
Yes. I've always hated the way she looks down her nose at you and judges everyone based on what university they happen to or didn't happen to graduate. To think she'd drag her hateful worldview into what should be the happiest day of my life disgusts me. Family or not, there are some lines that should never be crossed. My patience with her has reached its limits, and I want her to know about it.
Patricia!
Anyway, make your preparations for the wedding day, okay? Because you are absolutely coming. Me and Andy will drag you to the church by your ankles if we have to. Leave the rest to us. Just ignore anything else Mom says to you. She isn't even worth the time it takes to read her messages.
Got it. I most definitely do not want to get ankle dragged. I'll be there. Thanks, sis. Sorry to trouble you guys with all this.
Don't be silly. There's only one person causing trouble here. But she won't be able to for much longer. Catch you later, bro.
What do you want?
Corey! What's going on? I didn't know Patricia's wedding was today!
Oh yeah. You said Aunt Petunia messaged you, right?
Yes! That was the last message I expected to get from my sister! I've been trying desperately to get through to Patricia to figure out what the hell's going on, but she won't pick up! Do you know about this? If so, explain immediately!
Explain? Okay, here's your explanation. Patricia and Andy got married today. How's that? That satisfy you?
No. I know that. I want to know why they got married without telling me. It's downright criminal for a mother not to be invited to her own daughter's wedding. Downright criminal, I tell you. I demand an explanation.
Nope. Sorry, Mom. I hate to break it to you, but no crime has been committed. Actually, there's no problem with it at all.
Excuse me? Surely Andrew's parents don't see it that way.
Far from it, actually. They completely and wholeheartedly agreed.
They agreed? Why?
I wonder if it had anything to do with you, oh, I don't know, banning me from my own sister's wedding.
Huh? How could that be? I explained to them that we hadn't heard from them since you ran away after graduating high school.
Shall I just tell you? I guess I may as well. It's not like I have any reason to keep it a secret anymore. I'm Andy's, Patricia's husband's, boss!
What? What kind of fairy tale land are you living in? Snap out of it, son! You graduated from a public high school in Detroit, and your first job was on a production line at a fish factory. Get real, Corey. How could a fish-packing high school graduate possibly land a managerial job at a major IT company? Have you lost your mind? You're living in cuckoo land.
I got a new job.
A new job?
It seems like your image of me got frozen in time. After you kicked me out when I graduated high school, do you have any idea how many years ago that was?
No matter how many years pass, you'll always be a high school graduate.
I was studying programming. You know, the subject I wanted to pick at the university you prevented me from going to. The whole time I worked packing fish on that production line. After that, I landed a job at the IT company I had my sights on for years after getting through selection and passing their coding trial with flying colors. Then 2 years later, Andy joined the company.
What?
I was the one who introduced him to Patricia.
No way. You're making it all up. This can't be real.
Want to know one of the reasons I like Andy and his parents so much? Because they treat people with respect and decency regardless of their educational background.
Wait, so this means my story about you running away...
Was a complete waste of time and made you look like a deranged sociopath? Yup. In fact, it had the complete opposite effect.
Huh? What do you mean?
Did you really think they were just gonna look the other way when they found out how awfully you'd been treating your own son? Andy, his parents, his grandparents, and of course Patricia, were all furious. As a condition of them getting married, Patricia and I agreed to cut you out of our lives once and for all, like the malignant tumor you are.
Cut me out of your lives?
That's why no one told you anything about the wedding today. And that's why you couldn't get through to Patricia. That will be the case from now on, Until forever, by the way. So you may as well just give up. The only reason I didn't block your number is because I figured I'd have to explain everything to you at some point.
Oh my god. Cutting me out of your lives? Isn't this a bit extreme, son? You're my children, my babies! Not just that, but I thought I might be able to see your dad again after all these years at the wedding.
Ah, don't worry. Dad wasn't there.
Huh? Why not?
Patricia did ask him to come. She would have loved for him to be there. But his new wife is due to go into labor, and no matter how hard they tried, they just couldn't hit upon a scenario in which he could go to the wedding and not potentially miss the birth.
His new wife? Labor? Your father got married again?
Yep. I think it was about 6 years ago now.
That long ago?
Apparently, this will be their second child. They already have a 3-year-old.
I had no idea. No one told me about any of this.
You seem surprisingly shocked that Dad got remarried. No way! You weren't thinking of trying to start over with him, were you?
Well...
Actually, forget it. I don't care. To get back on point, the situation with Patricia's wedding was exactly as I explained. Now, since I had the nerve to go, thus disobeying your orders, we can finally break off all contact, just like you wanted.
Wait a second, just wait. This is all too extreme. You don't have to do this. We can go back to being one big happy family, can't we? We can, can't we?
Were we ever really a happy family, Mom? You have the rest of your life to think about that. Our minds are made up. Any final words?
You can come back and live with me at the family home.
What?
You have no idea how proud I am for you for working so hard and landing such an amazing job, son. I always knew you'd make it into the big leagues one day. My mother's instincts told me so. I'm over the moon for you, I really am. I think I might cry, I'm so proud.
Interesting. Are those the same mother's instincts that told you to kick me out and steal my tuition fees? You appear to have done quite the 180.
Huh?
I didn't think it was possible, but you're so fickle, I'm actually even more disgusted with you. If you're gonna be a poisonous witch, at least be consistent. Now you're a poisonous witch with no spine!
No, I mean it. I'm being sincere, son.
Where did you learn that word? I didn't think it was even in your vocabulary! Let's face it, you're only after my money. And if my suspicions are correct, before you found out I had a well-paying job at a prestigious company, your plan was to patch things up with Dad at the wedding, so you had access to another walking wallet to feed and clothe you. Either that, or you were plotting to sponge off Patricia and Andy after the wedding. Did I hit the bullseye? Which one is it? Probably both, right? It's good to keep your options open after all. Back here in the real world, even if we weren't disowning you, you would have never succeeded, because everyone knows exactly how toxic you are. I'm willing to call the money you stole from me a settlement for breaking off the relationship. Never contact me again. Goodbye. And that was the story of how my sister and I broke off relations with our mom. She always had some bad spending habits, and that was why my dad divorced her all those years ago. Patricia and I were still in middle school at the time, and we really wanted to go with him, but given the fact his job meant he regularly had to go away on business trips, it wasn't realistic, so we gave up on the idea. We were left no choice but to go into the custody of the Wicked Witch. We're both adults now, though. My sister lived at home with my mom a lot longer than I did. It was refreshing to see the look of pure relief on her face when she finally moved out and declared, "I'm free." Now our mom is alone. After the whole affair with the wedding, we left her in the care of her sister, our Aunt Petunia. She told us she intended to drill into her the discipline and life skills required to work and get by in the world on her own. That might sound harsh, but the truth is, she hasn't had a single job in her life. She only has herself to blame. All I can say is, good luck, Mom!